Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So just want to say Radiant Reality turns 8 years old this year, and I just want to say a massive thank you so much for sticking it out with me, for being a part of the Radiant Nation. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, and I just want to say as a thank you, every single year, you know I don't do Black Friday and any of that stuff, so every single year when we get to the time of Radiant Reality's birthday, which is the 21st through to the 22nd, I slash all of my prices on my digital products and all of that good stuff. So over the course of the 21st and the 22nd, you're going to see all kinds of offers on the YouTube community tab, all kinds of offers on socials, so Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to back yourself a bargain, the only time this year that I will offer these prices, now is your moment. All right, so before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. Oh, okay. So your jumping card this week for your key to the week is the Temperance card, right? So this week, not only are you seeking and searching for more balance in your life, but you are really heading towards or putting your focus more on where it is that you need to bring more alignment into your life, which is fantastic. Remember the Temperance card, if the Magician is as above, so below, the Temperance card is as within, so without. All right, so this is really about you. This week, you're going to start finding the balance points that you need in all of these different areas of life for you to start really attracting and synthesizing the things that you really do want in your life, right? I think this is a moment of real honesty this week, Taurus. For your actions and options, you've got the Hermit card, right? So stripping it down to basics, going back to basics, right? Going back to the start of something, possibly for some of you as well. Remember the Hermit card, aside from loneliness and self-imposed exile and all of that kind of heavy stuff, the Hermit card is really about stripping it back to basics. And so when I see this in your actions and options, that's what a lot of you are going to focus on this week, right? So rather than sort of focusing on, maybe there is a feeling of loneliness in some regard, I think this week you're addressing that and you're kind of looking at it of, right, okay, I need a certain amount of alone time, alone space, etc. But I also need a certain amount of connection and commitment and all the other things, right? Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, this week it does look like an opportunity will show up for you this week that really is specifically just for you. It's not something that you'll be able to share or that you'll be able to do with somebody else. It'll come directly to you. And the reason that this opportunity has shown up is because you're moving into a state of alignment with whatever it is that is showing up for you this week. So be open to this, right? Especially if it feels like, something shows up and you're like, oh, that's a bit of a fluke, right? Pay attention to it. Pay attention to how you feel at the moment of that showing up, because that emotion or that vibrational match and frequency is what brought this into your life. For your actions and options, you've got the Page of Wands. I love this, right? So I am going to say when it comes to work, when it comes to your, this is so crazy as well. I have a very good friend who is, she's like my astro twin, right? I was born on the 3rd of Feb, she was born on the 4th, and she's got a Taurus rising, so I know she's always watching these. And the fact that the Page of Wands and the Temperance card comes up, this represents Sagittarius season. For her in particular, she'll probably be laughing at this right now, but what I have to say to all of you Taurians, you wonderful ball gang you, what this means is that whatever you're working on over the course of this week, it will start to not just show up, but it will start to really bear its fruit at the latter end of this year in Sagittarius season, right? So whatever you start to work on, you're going to see the results when you get back from, should I say, Oh my gosh, come on, brain. When you get to that point of the year, so if we had to narrow this down to some specific dates, Sagittarius season is anywhere from, let's say, the 21st of November right through to around the 20th of December. So around that point of this year, you're going to start to see the results and the rewards of the efforts and the hard work that you've put into your work from this point forward. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is the time for you to really lean in. Now, I know obviously a lot of you are either, maybe you finished uni for the year, you finished college for the year, etc. What I mean by this is, even though you're not at school and now it's time for you to take your break, and quite rightly so, you've worked hard for the academic year. This is a time for you to start really paying attention to the ideas that come to you as a result of the studies that you've done and the subject matter that you're involved in. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, I really want you to start sharing your ideas more at work, especially this week, because something that you set forward or suggest, you will be able to look back on and say, wow, you know what, I suggested this for the company and look at how great it's been for us. What I'm talking about here is positioning yourself for that pay rise that you want, honey. Okay, now when it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, your ideas, get them the fuck out into the world. This is a launch point, right? The Page of Wands, aside from all of its other meanings of creativity and joy and blogs and podcasts and YouTube channels and all of that kind of stuff, what this card really talks about in its essence is a creative idea that is bigger than you. And what I mean by this is the idea that you have, whether this is for your business, whether it's something that you want to share with the world, it's such a good idea that the universe decrees that it's actually bigger than you and more people than just you need this, right? So stop wasting time and start getting it out there. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I actually really like this for spending time with loved ones and particularly children, having a lot of fun, a lot of joy with this. And what's one of the best things about, I don't know if you've seen the studies where they took babies right through to toddlers, and they put them into nursing homes and care homes for the elderly, and the energy levels that it just made wonders for them, right? It brought their happiness levels up, increased their dopamine. I can't remember what the study was called, but I'll have to dig it out. We'll see if there's a link to a video, but it's just phenomenal, right? And what this means is this week, if you're retired and you're no longer working and maybe you're feeling a little bit like me, spending time with your children, your grandchildren, spending time with young people in general, or doing things that are considered young people's things or whatever. I've just got this image now of all the Taurians going out and dancing on tables, getting buck wild with it, right? If surround yourself with that youthful energy this week, because it will absolutely, right? If you want to attract more fun and joy and all of those things, you got to be that on the inside. And one of the best ways to connect to the energy of pure joy, just for the sake of joy, I'm sure you've all seen the meme where it says, whatever you do it with the same courage and bravery as an 8-year-old wearing a Batman t-shirt, right? And it's so fucking true. Yeah, if you say to them you're Superman, listen, they will jump that flight of stairs. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a video of a little boy. He literally leaps down the stairs in his Batman cape, and the dad is you can hear him listen, don't do that again. Right? Because they believe in themselves. Right? They don't have all of the trappings of life and the bollocks that weighs us down. Tap into that, right? This week is about really tapping into what it means to align yourself with the right vibrational match and frequency. That's how you're going to change your life this week. And what you set into motion, you're going to be collecting the rewards of in Sagittarius season. Do you want it to be good rewards, or do you want it to be crappy stuff, right? Let's go. For your love and relations, you've got the Six of Swords. Love this. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is mum and dad, right? Whether you've got kids or not, but this is you guys planning a trip where it's just the two of you, right? So I love that. This is like a naughty weekend away, or, you know, doing that thing that you guys have always wanted to do, or visiting that place, or doing that activity that you've always wanted to do. It's that kind of thing, right? It's setting time aside for you and your significant other, especially for those of you that have been doing the work on the relationship to improve it or enhance it in some way. This week you see really nice results from that, but also they go further afield as well. If you are single, it's going to be either on your travels or potentially in or through or around your workplace that you end up meeting somebody. And you know what's funny? This feels like just the initial connection. I feel like you'll meet this person, you'll flirt, you'll laugh, you'll talk, and you'll think, hang on a sec, there's something here. And then, you know, it's like you might not see them again until the end of the year. Right? Like there's just this feeling that they come in, you get a little taster and you're like, no, where are you going? Right? And then you realize you haven't exchanged numbers or whatever. And then come September, Sagittarius season, you'll run back into each other. I'm really, I'm going to be tracking this one to within an inch of its life. So I already mentioned the Reydiant Reality sale. Reydiant Reality turns 8 years old this year. If you want to bag yourself a bargain of a reading, because I slash all of my prices for the Reydiant birthday, then you know what to do. You can get that on the link in the description box below for 48 hours only, from the 21st to the 22nd of June. All right. So I don't want to hear anyone saying like, the prices haven't been deducted yet. They won't be until the 21st to the 22nd. For your money and materials, you have the 5 of Swords. Okay. Potentially some challenging conversations around money this week, and it's not coming from you. All right, that's the first thing that you need to know. You've got this with the Temperance card. Your money, your resources are on the up. This may be a conversation where you realize that somebody has an expectation where they might think that they get to put their hand in your pocket in some regard. Like, excuse me, clearly you don't know Taurus. Right? The other thing is as well, if you are dealing with a financial institution, I would give it, if you can, don't do it this week, right? Wait till another time when the energy is a little bit less volatile. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is your nervous system. And I think a lot of this week, if you find that you are having bickerings and stuff like that showing up, it's because your nervous system doesn't like who you're around. All right, pay attention to that. The body does not lie. When it comes to your home and environment, 5 of Swords with the Temperance card, this is potentially not an issue with the home, but it's almost like maybe somebody makes a comment about your home or about how you're living or whatever the case might be, and it might get your heckles up. My advice to you would be let it slide. All right, just don't get into it. There's no need. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.